Well, it's been about a week removed away from the Battlefield 6 open beta. 2 weekends of playtime with Battlefield 6. It's been the game we've been hearing rumblings about all year long. And the question is, does it live up to the hype? I spent a great bit of time in Battlefield 6. Honestly, more time than I've ever spent in Battlefield before. And I don't want to say I'm like the most hardcore Battlefield player out there, but you know, I got some experience with Battlefield. And this is my first time ever reaching max rank in a beta. The game feels amazing. It feels immersive. It has real fucking grit to it. None of that cosplay bullshit. So, let's get right into it. If you like what I do, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe. And don't forget, it's all free and it takes just a couple seconds. I would greatly appreciate it if you did all of that. Thank you. I think when we talk about if Battlefield 6 can live up to the hype, I really think we need to go back in time a little bit about where we came from and where the Battlefield series was before Battlefield 6. We had the likes of Battlefield 2042, Battlefield 5, and the legendary Battlefield 1. And I think the series had everything going for it with Battlefield 1. And then Battlefield 5, in my opinion, just came out way too soon. It just did not look like a World War II shooter. And then you gotta really think about the cocky messaging they had with that. Battlefield 5 was Battlefield 5. I don't want to say it was a bad game or the worst game ever. It was a serviceable game in my opinion, but it was not quite as legendary as Battlefield 1 was. And then we fast forward to Battlefield 2042, and in my opinion this is Battlefield's Black Ops 4 situation. Removal of campaign and the focus of specialist abilities and all that hero shooter bullshit that no one really fucking wants.
Don't be sad. This is just how it works out sometimes.
And then the marketing was just so Call of Duty-like.
What a time to be alive!
The whole thing about Battlefield 2042 is that it just did not feel like a Battlefield game. So now here we are with Battlefield 6, and I think Battlefield 6 is probably the most important title for EA and DICE and Battlefield Studios. To me, this title is a must hit. It needs to be a hit. It needs to live up to the hype. It needs to shoot on all cylinders. It needs to get it right. And I think from my first impressions, Battlefield 6 doesn't really reinvent the wheel, and it doesn't need to. I think Battlefield 6 just needs to be what Battlefield is, and that's Battlefield. An immersive setting, grittiness, you know, that realistic look. The classic Battlefield gameplay. It doesn't need to do anything. It doesn't need to innovate. It doesn't need to do any of this bullshit. It just needs to be itself. When I think of Battlefield 6 and Black Ops 7, I am often reminded of the situation of Battlefield 1 in Infinite Warfare and how Battlefield 1 just had all of the momentum in the world. Or when Infinite Warfare had a plethora of dislikes to one of the most disliked videos on YouTube. And now we kind of see history repeating itself again. But the ratio is kind of showing the indicator that there is a large disconnect of what people want with Call of Duty. Whereas Battlefield 6, the momentum in the hype the game is getting, there's clearly a connection here and clearly a demand of what Battlefield is showing. And I think Battlefield kind of has all the momentum in the world. As far as sales numbers go, will Battlefield 6 outsell Call of Duty? In my honest opinion, I don't think so. But I do think Battlefield 6 will be ranked as the better game overall. It will be seen as the more quality game compared to Black Ops 7. And I think overall Battlefield 6 is probably going to nudge Call of Duty to get their shit together. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Battlefield 6 influence with Call of Duty 2026 and Call of Duty 2027. Battlefield 6 is definitely going to give Call of Duty a run for its money. When we take all that into account, there's also other reports going on or suggestions or rumors or whatever you want to call it, that there's a potential for Battlefield to turn into an annual franchise. This is probably where I raise my eyebrow because nobody wants this. There's no demand for this to be an annual release for Battlefield. If anything, it will be in a shitter just like Call of Duty is right now. So take it from there. Don't fucking turn this into an annual franchise, and if it does, you can almost bet that this series is going to go down the toilet and go down the same path that Call of Duty has gone down, with wacky skins being like the predominant moneymaker the way Call of Duty has it. Mostly with my time in the Battlefield 6 beta has been largely in the close quarters game modes, which is like your close quarters dominations, your squad deathmatches, and King of the Hill. I try to avoid squad deathmatch because it plays terribly, not very good. Domination is fantastic. As a predominant Call of Duty player, I guess you could say, to me, I treated the beta as like the training wheels to get comfortable with Battlefield again, because it's been a while since I played Battlefield, so I can graduate to the big boy modes. The close quarters game modes and in modes like Domination, if you ask me, Battlefield does Call of Duty better than Call of Duty. The maps, they're bigger than the normal Call of Duty size map, but they all play so well. There's more players. I don't really run into a lot of camping. The destruction makes it so much better. Overall, it just feels great to play, even in the close quarters game modes. And another thing that makes the game feel great is the gunplay. Gunplay is everything in a first-person shooter, and I think it was one of the most addicting things about Modern Warfare 2019. Something about the guns just felt immersive. They felt real. They felt beefy. They felt good to fucking use them. And now Battlefield 6 does that just as well. They feel real. They feel immersive. They just feel overall great to use, and something about it just keeps me coming back and just want to experiment with every gun in the game. Because they all just, I don't know, there's no more words to put it in. They just all feel great from everything that I have talked about with the features. The most important factor of this game is that it's a modern shooter, has that modern aesthetic, and the most important thing about it is that it's all very grounded and immersive. You could do any theme, you could do any setting you want, but none of it matters if you don't fucking stick to the theme. And I think Battlefield 6, from what I've seen, is doing a great job of that. Sticking to the theme, playing on the theme's strength, making the setting matter. And if you make that matter, you will have a game that will stand the test of time. And I think Battlefield 6 has a great shot of doing this. I'm already loving the maps. I love the visuals of the maps. I get so enthralled playing the game and walking through the maps. I really appreciate that about this game. And if I catch myself taking millions of screenshots mid-game, you got something special here, and I really do appreciate the art. The art, the setting, and the theme matters just as much as the gameplay, because I feel like if you don't have the art, and you don't respect the art, you don't respect the theme, you don't respect the setting, then I'm sorry, your gameplay means jack shit to me. I feel there is immense opportunity for Battlefield to pretty much beat Call of Duty this year. They got all of the momentum in the world to do so. But as I said earlier, I'm not a big believer in them like beating Call of Duty in terms of sales. Not a big believer in that. I hope for that, but realistically, I don't think it's going to happen. I do think Battlefield is making Call of Duty rethink their strategies and rethink how they're going to treat at least their next two games. And so far, Battlefield has given me what I want. I've always liked Battlefield. But here, with Battlefield 6, I'm genuinely happy with everything I've seen. I can't wait for launch day. This is the game that I want. This is the game I want to play. Call of Duty or no Call of Duty, or competition or no competition, it doesn't matter to me. I love this game. I hope this ages well a year from now, 2 years from now. But as of right now, I'm having fun with it, and the most I can do is just be a little optimistic, I guess. What is your thoughts on Battlefield 6 and the beta? What's your thoughts with the potential future of Battlefield 6? Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.